Well, we're back here now, live at the Regional Stadium, Port Macquarie. We've got a beautiful day. The air quality has been good. We did have to change our playing conditions for the first 2 days of the State Cup due to the air quality issues in relation to the fires that are surrounded and engulfed this particular area. But we're now here for the mixed open, and the locals, Port Macquarie, into the final, taking on their nemesis in many ways, Eastern Suburbs.
Yeah, it should be a good game here, Dean. Port Macquarie have obviously been trying to have a crack at this title for many, many years now, and they've finally got their opportunity here today, but they're going to come up against probably, if not, one of the best ever mixed sides that have played here at State Cup, the East Roosters. They've got experience and representative players all across the park, and Port Macquarie are going to have to be really, really at their best to have a real red-hot crack at this one.
The 89 Sharks might have given them a go.
Mate, I'm not that old, so I can't remember that, sorry.
Oh, it was a great side, the 89 Sharks.
Captained by Dean Russell, was it?
Oh, I think that might have been the case. Mate, Stacey Gregory, Gary Simmons, Mark Herndon. Oh, the names just roll off the tongue.
Yeah, there's some big names there.
Port Macquarie not without a chance in this game. They've got some really good players themselves. They've got Bo Montgomery. Jack Lewis is a really good player.
Jack Lewis has actually spent some time with the East Roosters. Played a Warden Cup with East Roosters, so it'll be interesting to see. He'll know exactly what they do. But this Port Macquarie team and East Roosters, they've actually spent a lot of time together in terms of training camps and things like that. So they'll play a pretty similar style, I'd say. And as you said, Dean, there's some quality players in the Port side as well. And they're well coached around the park, well led by Aaron Ison, who's been playing mixed touch for, God, almost 30 years. You'll have me saying that, but it feels like that anyway. So he'll be looking to lead the guys around, and they'll be up for it.
And interesting enough what you say on that point about spending a lot of time together. Aaron Ison, who does do a lot of the coaching of this Port Macquarie Makos team, has learned his trade by being mentored by probably Manu Wakely, who is a genius in mixed play.
Yeah, no, they've spent a lot of time together. So, and Manu's great like that in terms of his mixed coaching. He's more than happy to pass on those trades of the skill to anyone that's keen to listen. So he's great for the sport, but also as well for East Roosters, we've got a big inclusion this year that hasn't been here before in Scott Prince. So it'll be great to see how he runs around in this one.
Yeah, they reckon he can play a little bit, Scott Prince.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and look, it's actually a really interesting story. He wants to play in the New South Wales State Cup. He wanted to have a run with the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. So he made sure he flew down to play in the competition at Queen's Park. And not only that, he's a really great ambassador for touch football, not just in what he does up in Queensland, but what he does here in New South Wales as well. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I did tell him there was a sub-clause in the registrations today that if you play the New South Wales State Cup, you have to play for New South Wales.
Yeah, what was his response, Dean?
He said he didn't read that sub-clause.
Yeah, I think you're going to be fighting an uphill battle with that one, but it'll be great to see him out here today running around, and hopefully we've got a really good game here. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think you're going to see some really good quality mixed open touch tries.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game as well. The Roosters will have to start favourites.
Oh, definitely. And they deserve that. They've won this title that many times. They've won the NTL titles that many times. They definitely deserve that favourites title, but we'll see what Port can do.
We're going to have the national anthem, so we'll leave you temporarily. Well, that's the national anthem done. The teams just wishing each other all the best. And also to the referees, Robbie Bowen, Zach McCann and Anthony Smith out there. Three quality referees for quality teams, quality division. And I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll be an entertaining game. I don't think the Port Makos will get blown off the park. I think they've got a tough job in front of them. But I reckon they'll go in with a quiet confidence.
Yeah, look, the one thing about Port Macquarie teams too, no matter what division it is, they're generally pretty mentally tough as well, and they're always a hard side to play against because they'll just go for the full 30 minutes. So I think you're right, Dean. I don't think this is going to be as one-sided as what some people may think. They'll definitely be up for this. They've been waiting for this opportunity for a long, long time.
Look out, the locals have come from everywhere. They're coming from everywhere, the locals from Port Macquarie. They want to wish their team all the very best. And I suppose it's the classic Australian story about the underdog, isn't it?
Yeah. There'd definitely be a lot of people back in Port home here. Like, no disrespect to East, but they've won the title that many times. I think a lot of people would be happy to see somebody else get their hands on it.
Anyway, we're nearly ready. We're just waiting for the teams to make the field. I'm trying to get the two teams on here. Here come the Roosters, being supported by the Australian Defence Force over there. I suppose they've got similar colours. And here comes Tani Luck leading the Port Macquarie Makos onto the field.
Yeah, Tanae's had a pretty big year herself. She represented Australia over at the World Cup in Malaysia earlier. She's been in some really good form. She's a very good mixed player. She'll be one to keep an eye out. She'll be organising a lot of stuff here for Port Macquarie. Beau Montgomery as well in number 3. He also played over in Malaysia for Australia. So they've definitely got some talent, Port Macquarie.
Yes, they certainly do. And anyway, we're in the starters' hands, as they say in racing parlance.
Port Macquarie are going to start us off. Let's see what they can do off this tap-off set.
And it'll be Beau Montgomery to take the tuck. Tanae Luck with Beau there. He drives deep into the attacking zone
Just
already.
Comes out to Rousel here. Rousel's quite a young, talented player as well.
He's got the ball now. He gets it back to Buzz Ison. Buzz slowing it down. He goes long there to Tanae Luck. She's into the hole. That's good.
She's caught Kirsty Wakely out there just a little bit napping, just ball watching a little bit, and they've taken full advantage. And I think that's exactly the start that Port Macquarie were hoping for.
Exactly the start. That will give them, they would have come in confident, and they will be even more confident now. And really well set up. I think everyone, the East defence was caught napping. They were watching the men. And a long release, long ball to Tani Luck. She put the foot down and gets on the outside of Wakely.
Here's Brad Lugg and Kirsty Wakely working through the middle. They'll head over to Manu Wakely.
Yep, Prince going back on the swoop. There's Lugg out of half. He finds Prince. Prince steps off his left and gets it back down side. But Anthony Smith, the referee, said he was onside.
Yeah, good defence there on the early raid from Port Macquarie. They look up for it, Dean.
Yep, Manu Wakely. The mixed master, as they call him, Ken Brook. Him and Prince working together. He's trying to drag the defence down. He gets it down for Prince. Prince takes off to the left-hand side of the field. He throws the dummy. He gets through the line. He gets it to Kirsty Wakely.
Good hit back there. Yep. Number 10, Joe Gaynor from Port Macquarie, just unfortunately slipped there on the line.
Yep.
Scott Prince took full advantage.
He did slip, but I think Scott Prince already had him out of position. Really well set up. You'd see the way that Manu Wakely was slowing the play down, trying to drag not just one defender out, but 2 or 3. That released a really good line for Prince to run through. 1-1. Montgomery again. Gets it back from Luck. Montgomery gets it down. It's in the hands there at the time of Sam Rousel, who we talked about earlier. He's got the ball again. He gives it to Aaron Ison. Aaron Ison gets it to Montgomery. He dummies to Montgomery. Goes back to Rousel.
There's a good shot there from the winger, Amy Lugg, and she's done it again, 2 in a row. She's cut that off. That's well read from Amy Lugg.
Yeah, the pass wasn't great from Ison. It might have been interesting had he delivered the ball on the money. There's Mitch Brown. I'm going to put a tiny dollar on sports bet with Mitch Brown. He takes an intercept in this game.
I'll back that.
Here they go. There's a good drive here now from the East. This is the team that we've seen through Alonso. Prince out of half. He got out under Manu Wakely. He's through the line again. Prince, he's opened up well. He's given the pass to Lugg.
Great touch,
A great touch.
Tane Luck, that's a great touch on Brad Lugg.
And you can see already where the problems are going to come for the Makos. That's twice in a row now that they've set Prince out of a really good setup, and he's been able to use that foot speed that he's renowned for. But here's Russell down the sideline.
Yeah, Scott Prince more renowned for probably his ball work, but so far it's just his foot speed that's been creating the damage. Here goes Joe Gaynor.
Conley gets to the Joe
Back
Gaynor.
to
That's all
Gaynor,
through.
and they've scored, and they've levelled it up at 2-2.
And the crowd are back into it now.
Oh, sorry, 2-1
Yeah, that'll be two touchdowns.
to Port Macquarie.
And
So
look,
they're not scared here, Dean. They're clearly showing that they're up for this one.
yeah, and that was very good play there from the Makos. Alonso at half. He gets it off to Brown. Alonso at half again. There's same setup here. Brown gives it to Alonso. Back inside to Brown. Here they come with a very good sweeping play. The referee's called an offside, but the first player was offside, so it's a penalty there, and that was Gareth Young sweeping around.
He was offside there, Joe Gaynor, but he probably actually made the right call to get up there and break that play down, because Gareth Young off the sweep are very dangerous. Ball down there.
Yep. Very good decision.
Great touch there from Bale. Matt Bale from Port Makos.
And Montgomery tries to get on the outside of Angel Barber. Recently recruited from Newcastle, going to university in Sydney. Port Macquarie now driving forward.
Barber's just come off the back of a pretty nasty wrist injury, actually, so it's good to see her back out at State Cup.
Russell gets the ball down there. Trying to get through the line there was the number 2, Matt Bale.
Good touch from Christian Alonso there. He's very solid in defence. Here goes Mitch Brown. I don't want to give him too much space because he is quick.
Here they go again. East, they'll drive down here. Manu Wakely gets the ball back off his white Kirsty. He throws it long to Barber. She had good hands there back inside to Prince. 6 more touches. Good skill there for Angel Barber. Very talented young player. Prince releases the ball now to Manu Wakely. He'll be calling the shots, Manu Wakely. He gets his... He'll go back inside. Oh, just like losing his feet there. He knows exactly where he wants to position defenders and how he wants to position his body. I'd like $1 for every hour of video footage he has watched. Good ball there from Prince.
Great shutdown from Brittany Rudd.
Good ball from
She's
Prince,
covered
well
again.
read there. Good defence from the locals. We talked about if the university boys had got up today, at what the Port Panthers' reaction. Imagine if the locals get up.
If Port Macquarie get up, the whole town's going to party for a week.
Montgomery again. Now with Ison. And Prince in the ruck. Ison goes up and gives him a little tap on the bum. Says thanks for that, Scotty.
It's good to see again, just Port Macquarie making sure that they're showing the East Roosters they're not intimidated at all. They're right up for this.
I'll tell you something I've just noticed, and it might have a big effect. There's no Jack Lewis playing for Port. And I would have thought that, and Jack's a great player, I would have thought that he would have been integral to really putting it to the Roosters. And
yeah, you're right, Dean. I'm actually not sure. I can't even see him down there in the box at all.
No. So anyway, back with Montgomery. He goes to the left-hand side, drops it back inside. Pass from Ison, and they're through, and it's a right.
The shifty old mind of Aaron Ison, Buzz. Beautiful little flick pass there, committed 2 defenders, and Bo Montgomery, they've played a lot of touch together. He knew what was coming.
What about the finish from Montgomery?
You got to do that when you're playing on your home ground, Dean.
3-1, the Roosters are down. The Makos lead. I'm not sure that the Roosters would have expected to be in this position. They would know that the Makos were going to take it to them. But I don't think they would have thought they'd be down 3-1 with 17 and a half to go.
Well, it'll be interesting, Dean, because they're not normally in this position. Like obviously they've got experience coming out of everywhere, but yeah, they're not normally down like this at this point of the game. So we'll see what they do.
Alonso around on the sweep with a great little side ball. Gareth Young comes around on the sweep and just pops it back inside to Alonso. But
Beautiful.
don't underestimate the work Mitch Brown did, the way he positioned the defender who made the touch on him to open up that little hole just back on the inside.
Yeah. Created a little bit of block there with his body. There was nothing illegal about it. Just used the body correctly and then had the sweeper come around and a nice little ninja on the inside play, and that's beautiful. That's a great hit back. That's what they need.
That's been the marker of any Eastern Suburbs team that Manu Wakely's been in. Their attention to technical detail.
Yeah, that's the hours and hours and hours of video work that Manu does. And just the effort and the attitude of these guys at training is unbelievable.
Well, we just spoke about Jack Lewis not being here. He's just run. I don't know where he's been, but he's just run into the sub box.
You're right, Dean. He is. I can see him down there now, so I don't know what's going on there. But he will definitely make a difference for this Port Macquarie side.
Well, they're trying to find out whether he's allowed to play, and yes, he is. And here they go now, the Roosters. Kirsty Wakely to Prince. She drops it back inside to Wakely. She gets it down. It's Prince out of half. He throws it long to Alonso. Alonso gets it back inside to Prince. Prince tries to dive. But,
I'm actually not sure what they're doing down there with Jack there, Dean. I don't know if he is being allowed to play or not. Here we go, Jazz Wilbo straight through the middle. That's great yards while the guys get some fresh legs on the field. Here's Bo Montgomery again for Joe Gaynor. Back to Aaron Ison. Here he goes out of half, Bo Montgomery. He throws long, they're in. Great ball. Bo Montgomery is absolutely killing it here today. That's a great finish on the wing for Port Macquarie, and they extend their lead back to 2. It's 4 tries to 2 with about 14 and a half minutes left on the clock. East will come back out here now. Mitch Brown, Brad Lugg, Manu Wakely, they'll have something up their sleeve to try and get back within a try of Port Macquarie. They roll up the park through Brown. Fading out to Brad Lugg. Here comes Wakely on the sweep. And Brown long ball. Angel Barber in the corner, and as easy as that, about 20 seconds later, they've hit straight back, and it's now back to a 1-try game. Great ball there from Mitchell Brown.
Well, I've done some research. Apparently, Jack Lewis has had he must have received a head knock earlier, and he has to receive medical clearance before he can retake the field. So that's what's getting sorted out down there at the moment.
Well, we weren't wrong, Dean. This game so far, it's definitely been entertaining. There's been some really, really good mixed tries.
There you go, the Makos again. Rousel looking to get out of half. He gives it to...
Oh,
they run a beautiful play.
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
I've put the mocker on him. I've just given him a wrap, and he's just dropped it with nobody around.
What about the deception? Really well put together play.
Oh, hopefully they don't rue that in about another 13 minutes.
Off the mark there, and it's going to be a penalty here.
And that's interesting. That's the sort of thing you don't really see a lot from East. They don't tend to give away too many penalties. Maybe the scoreline is a bit of a shock to them, and they're starting to get a little bit nervous.
Now, Tane Luck, but the ball now in the hands. Port Macquarie, they've got the ball, two diving underneath there. Matt Bale trying to get underneath.
Matt Bale and Joe Gaynor working well together there.
Bale now drops it off to Gaynor. He's going to go out of half again, but geez, very good defence from Kirsty Wakely.
Yeah, well read. She's seen that play a million times, so she was straight onto that.
Prince now with the ball deep in their own half. And there's an
There's
error
another
again.
mistake. Back-to-back mistakes from East coming off their line. This is really, really uncharacteristic from these guys. So there definitely must be some nerves creeping in.
Yeah, Darren Hill's that time. That's not something you expect. Like you said, errors from the East team. They're usually very clinical.
They make some changes here. A guy and a girl come back on here. Bo Montgomery's back on the field, and you can see Aaron Ison just holding it up, waiting for him to get into position.
He's telling him he wants him on his right-hand side.
Lots of pointing going on.
Yeah.
Penalty there. They'll get another set here, Port Macquarie.
Yep. Ison was looking to the swipe as well. Got held up in the ruck. Bonus penalty because he didn't have to do that. There was actually no half there.
No,
so
there was no reason for it.
Yep.
Oh, almost threw it away on the first touch.
Risky.
And it's Connolly and Ison working together.
Montgomery lost his
Montgomery
feet.
just slipped.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. It was an incorrect roll ball.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy set there from Port Macquarie.
So now it's the...
Oh, no.
It was a roll ball and he's taking
Hills.
a tap. That's 3 in a row for poor Hills. I think Coach Manu Wakely will be looking to get him off and just get him settled again. And another
my
incorrect roll ball.
Neither team
Bit of-
taking advantage of the errors here.
Bit of banter there from the locals, trying to get the referee to change his mind. But Mr. Gaynor, I'll tell you that not many referees will change their mind.
And Darren Hills will definitely breathe. Sigh of relief there.
Yep. And here they go again, the Roosters. It's Gareth Young with the ball.
Well defended there from Port Macquarie. And you can hear the crowd getting really ramped up into this. The home crowd might help Port get home here. And there's Luck.
nice.
She takes a really good drive through the middle. Bo Montgomery. And there's Matt Bale. Matt Bale's been looking pretty sharp the last few sets. Here he goes out of half.
Goes long out here to Ison. Ison back off his left.
Slows it up a little bit.
Gets it down. Gets
Oh,
it back.
that's-
Got the ball away, but just not clean in the ruck that time.
Yeah, it looked like it was a forward pass there too. But they got away with it. Nice are going to come out of their end and try and get up the other field so they can get an opportunity. Brown picks up good 20 metres there.
He releases again, Brown.
There's Lug with the ball. Just East again, just a little bit slow getting the ball on the deck.
Wakely. Husband Manu says, no, just drive it forward, Kirsty. In the hands of Lug. He gets it off to Manu Wakely. He's got Prince on the outside.
Ooh.
Oh, that was going to be the dummy, but he released
Oh,
it.
it's
But it's
worked
going to
out.
work for him. And here goes Barbara in the corner. She gets it back inside.
6 more.
6 more from Ison. Well, I'll tell you what, comedy of errors nearly worked out.
Yeah, that would have been funny if that had come off. Here's Manu again. Manu will definitely have something controlled here. He'll set something up. Him and Scott Prince, they'll work together. I'll just burn a touch there until Manu gets the setup that he wants.
You can see him directing traffic. Here he goes. Watch the way he looks to manage the defence. Where he wants him is where the touch is going to be made. He goes long to Prince. Prince goes off his right, tries to get inside, but
Great
Great
touch
touch.
there from Jasmine Wilbo at link. I think Princey beat his middle player there, but the female defender there came in and saved the day. Here goes Manu again.
he gets it back off Prince. Back to Prince again.
Oh,
really
trouble.
well set up. Really well set up. Just smart play.
And that's a fantastic line from Kirsty Wakely, hitting that in line at the link. She's run that line a million times in her mixed career.
The Eastern Suburbs team, they're back into it now. 4-all, 8:20 to play. Still no Jack Lewis, but he's taken his shoes off, so he hasn't been cleared, obviously, to play. He's probably going to be even more upset when one of the staff members comes over and tells him he has to have covered shoes to be in the sub box. Anyway, it's Bo Montgomery. He's been good for them. He gives it on to Rousel. Rousel trying to get through. But the touch
Made
is
the
made there
touch.
by Brown. Brown and also Richards there making it. But then there's a mistake.
Bo Montgomery just let that one go there. Let him off the hook.
Brown throws it out there. The Richards. Brown gets the ball again. Carly Walsh at half. She gives it on to Alonso. A good drive down the field. Prince is with the ball now. He sprints it out there to Wakely. Wakely drives into him. Ludd comes around on a very big sweep, but they ignore him.
Touch pass there. I think it was touch pass and forward maybe, Dean, but Port Macquarie did a good job there to hold him out.
You know what, Jay, when I played, and that was a long, long time ago, there's one thing that really used to peeve me off. Is when I make a massive run on a sweep and they just ignore me and go behind, just like Bradlow. He got ignored twice then, not once, twice.
It wasn't his wife that ignored him, was it?
No, it wasn't. That's just normal run-of-the-mill type thing. Here come Port Macquarie again. They drive into the eastern suburbs. Red zone now.
It's Bale and Connolly. Bale will go from half. Oh, he was looking for the switchback there, but they're through here.
I think the ball hit the ground.
6 more.
6 more.
Yeah, I think Manu Wakely managed just to get a touch on that one, and he had to. But he gives Port Macquarie a very good opportunity. Bo Montgomery works his way onto the field, and him and Buzz will make sure they get a really good play set up here. Let's see if East can hold him out.
And Montgomery with the ball now.
I think Port Macquarie just need to be patient here. Don't panic.
There's still plenty of time.
Here comes Montgomery on the sweep. Oh, and they hit the winger.
Yeah, dummied in, dummied out, and then through long.
Well covered. That's Amy Lugg again on the wing. And they're just walking a little bit, Port Macquarie. Trying to get that set up that they want. Mixed is a very, very different style of game to the men's or the women's. Here they go. They've got it covered easily, East. I don't think they got the numbers right on that occasion.
Now the Roosters will work it outside from their own half. There's Lugg driving the ball forward. He gives it off to Prince now. And here they come again. Richards driving forward. They're making plenty of yards in this set. Ball in the hands of Young. He gets it down in front of Brown. Brown will go long. And he goes long. Oh, Young Barber just put that one down. But that was a very good set from the Roosters that time. That's more like the Roosters we've known. Plenty of ball movement up and down the field.
Port Macquarie look to roll up the field, but they do look like they're starting to just get a little bit tired here. They're definitely slowing down a little bit. They've only got another 4.5 minutes. Hopefully they can keep going.
Oh, nearly got inside then, but that's a good touch by Richards.
Yeah, great touch there. Slowed all the momentum down. And here they go again. They need to find a half.
Bale goes through. Montgomery picks up very cleanly. He gets off the right. He goes short of
they're
Bale.
in.
Oh, but that's for a penalty.
Oh, I thought there should have been an advantage there, Dean.
Yeah, but he's actually ruled that the player who was onside made the touch.
Okay.
So he did play the advantage by giving the penalty. They beat the first player, but the onside player actually made the touch.
Good call then from the referee and Ant Smith, and they'll get another opportunity here anyway, Port Macquarie.
But they'll give them confidence. They know they can score. They've put 4 on already. They were an opportunity to put another one on there. Montgomery's been very strong for him. Ison at half. He wants to slow it down. He gives it, just hands it off to Rousel. Rousel will take the tap. They're just doing it again. Rousel this time. He dives through. Dives through.
Talented kid, this young Rousel. He's originally from Taree. He's got a lot of family members that play the game as well.
He's got the ball again in front of Ison. Ison gives it to Rousel. Rousel trying to dive underneath, but that's...
I don't know if Aaron Ison wanted Montgomery to sweep back then. I think he wanted to hold his line.
Yeah, it looked like a missed assignment. And now the Roosters driving it out through Alonso. Barber at half, gives it round, another good. They're into the half with 3 touches, and they've picked up a penalty.
That's the experience. That's the experience there for me. So the last few sets off their line, they've just gone really hard and picked up a couple of repeat sets there. They look like they know there's only 3 minutes to go. They know what they need to do.
Here we go now. Prince will roll the ball. He rolls it there. That was Reid at half. Reid with the ball again. Wakely comes around the sweep. He gets it from Prince. He goes back off his foot. Prince well read defensively by Aaron Ison.
They didn't bite too hard on Wakely then, so Ison was able to hold. Here he goes again. Ison gets a touch.
6 more. 6 more. I
This
tell
is
you what,
dangerous now for Paul Macquarie. Oh, hang on.
forward
No.
pass, forward pass. He got a signal from the sideline referee. I tell you what, Buzz wouldn't have been that unhappy about that going to ground, because I reckon 10 paces in, he's looking around to pass it off. He didn't want to go the length.
Yeah, I think you've...
Oh,
no.
Rousel.
Got a mistake here. This is the set. This could be the set. If East get a try here and take the lead, it's going to be hard for Port Macquarie to come back. They've led all game, Port Macquarie.
Lug with the ball. He's got Prince. There's danger here for Port Macquarie.
Yeah, I'd look
Lug
for...
releases to Prince.
I'd look for Gareth Young here, maybe on an out ball or an out line. He's quick. If he gets on the outside, there's trouble.
Prince has get it back from the... He goes off his left. He gives it. There's a little pop pass. The ball goes to the ground, and that's going to be... Smart play there from Bo Montgomery. Didn't try and take the ball, just made sure that Prince couldn't get to it and did nothing illegal. Luck now. She drives it forward. They're going to look to get fresh troops on. Rousel tries to get around. Probably just needed to take the touch there. Bale with the ball. He gets it off to Wilbo. So he gets it down. Bale with the ball again. Popped it back inside. Bale out of half. He goes off his left, off his right. And the referee said that Lug was onside.
Well defended.
Yep, it's a changeover.
I think Port Macquarie just need to get a few extra yards, so when they're having that strike done, they're a little bit closer to the try line.
And now Wakely drives it into the Port Macquarie half. Alonso with the ball.
Into the last minute.
Wakely, this could be the game right here as Brown looks to go out of half. He's going to go long. There's the long pass. It's out to Bowen, where the referee's going to close. And you just knew it was coming. There's 48 seconds to go. They're going to have a shot. They're going to have a shot. Manu Wakely realises that he's putting the defensive line up. He wants telling people who he wants on and who he doesn't want on. 36 seconds to go. Bale's going to take the tap. Well, this is it. It's all down in this possession. Bale, Luck at half. Gives it back to Bale. Off to Luck. Rousel's going to go from half. As he goes behind.
The same play.
The same play. The pass has gone to the ground. And that's 16 seconds to go. They put all their eggs in that basket, and they should have scored twice off that play today.
Yeah, it was the same play they ran before that they put the ball down over the line, but East are just going to be able to let the clock run down here.
Well, it nearly did.
And there it is.
And the Roosters, 5 touchdowns to 4 over Port Macquarie in what was a very entertaining game.
And I tell you what, Dean, Port Macquarie should definitely keep their heads up high, because that is one of the better mixed finals we've had here in a long time. And they definitely matched it with a very, very, very accomplished mixed open team.
They certainly did. It was a great game of mixed touch football. Could have gone either way in the end. Just the experience, I think, of the Roosters got them home. And so the Eastern Suburbs Roosters, once again, the State Cup champions in Mixed Open A. And we're going to be back very shortly to bring you the Women's Open A Championship.
Well, we're back here at the Port Macquarie Regional Sports Stadium. 2 games to go. The two jewels in the crown, the Women's and Men's Open Championship divisions. We have the women's game coming up very shortly between the Eastern Suburbs Roosters and the Manly Sea Eagles. And this, I think, will be a clash of epic proportions. Both teams star-studded.
Yeah, definitely, Dean. I think you've got stars across the park in both sides, but I think two different styles of touch again. Manly plays such a structured team style game, whereas you look at the East Roosters and they've probably got the current best female player in the game in Ash Quinlan running around. She's going to be hard to stop. Both sides have played some really good touch over the weekend. East Suburbs lost in the final last year to Canterbury. They'll be looking to go one better this year. And Manly will be out to resurrect that loss in the Vorden Cup final.
Yeah, look, Manly would be smarting from that loss. Not that it was a surprise that Canterbury won. I think most people probably couldn't pick a winner between Manly and Canterbury in that game before it went in. But more so the way that they lost it. To go down 6-0, I think that was the thing that surprised me. Yeah. I would never have picked that result.
Shocked a lot of people, that result. But I know the Manly girls have worked extremely hard since that defeat. And you can tell from the weekend they've looked extremely fit and extremely switched on and ready to get this State Cup title back. But it should be a fantastic game.
Yep, and the Roosters are strengthened this year. Picking up both Nola Baker and Tara Moe as well from the Western Suburbs Club, as well as Maddie Studden. We're just about for the national anthem. Yeah, so having someone like Maddie Studden back for the Roosters is a big bonus. And teams have been lining up to really double team Ash Quinlan to try and nullify her effectiveness. But now with a couple of different points of attack through Studden, through Quinlan, through Moy and Campbell, as well as young Isabella Slattery, they're a far stronger unit than they have been the last couple of grand finals they've appeared in. Where do you start with the Sea Eagles? But, like, really, they've just star-studded right across the park. As you see, a flood of people coming on to form the tunnels. Dyball, Petey, both Peteys. You've got the Clifford sisters, Meoli, Rogers, Nicholas, Tapar, young Billy Taylor. Like, it's star-studded across the line. So I'll be really interested. I think it'll be a very tight game.
I actually think both teams quite good in attack, but I think generally as State Cup finals come down to, I think this one might be one on defence. And when I watched East play a couple of games yesterday, their defence was extremely solid. So I'm actually going to tip if it's an upset, but I'm actually going to tip the Roosters to get up here in a very, very low-scoring game. Just another note too, I noticed Steph Mahalo from Manly didn't actually play in the semi-final. I think she might have some sort of a little illness there, so we'll keep an eye out on her as well.
Yep, and the big in for mine with the Sea Eagles is Laura Peaty. Laura didn't play the Vorden Cup Grand Final. She was overseas. And I think it really showed that her leadership on the field and her ability to read defences and point the attack around the park is something they really missed. And I think that's a really big in for the Seagulls.
They definitely missed her. They also obviously missing Danny Davis, who's been a big part of this Manly side for the last 7, 8, 9 years. So we'll see how they go without Danny out there as well.
Yeah, and two really, really good coaches. Barry Gibson, who's a student of the Bill Belichick coaching method, and Christian Frost, who has a technical mind, genius type coach. So here goes the Roosters now. First opportunity. Quinlan with the ball. She drops it back inside to Studden. Studden gives it off to Quinlan. Looking to bring players back. It's between the pair of them at the moment. Quinlan out of the half. She goes off her left. She goes long.
Well covered from Clifford there at
Yep.
link. You'll see Ashley Quinlan and Maddie Studden pretty much working together the whole game.
Yep. Read that and shut Moore down. Didn't let her get across the line. Now Manly looking to get to their box. There's Davis. She'll take up yards all day. And Dieball. She's going to be the one I think might be the star of this game, Dieball. I think she's playing exceptional play. There goes Petey out of half. She throws the long ball looking for Billy Taylor, but just out too far out in front.
Just floated a little bit too forward there, and the
Yep.
Roosters will get back on the ball.
That's Sarah Petey we're talking about too. Sarah and Laura, the two sisters in the Manly team. There's Moore taking it forward, looking to get to the box. Moe now. She gives it off to Quinlan. She gets it down quickly. It's Gare with the ball, but they've picked up a penalty.
I was just going to say, very good pressure there from the Manly defence, but just a little bit too keen, went a little bit too early.
And here they drive it forward again. McPherson that time. In the hands of Baker. She dishes off. Down to Doyle. Doyle gets it at Moore off. And Baker looks to step off her right and go back inside. But Packy there to shut the play down. Moore at half. Gives off to Baker. They take the touch. That was Clifford who made the touch, and there again, very well read defensively. Sarah Petey. They look on them at the Seagull girls. Clifford throws a long pass out there. They still sweep around.
I'll get straight into their settle pattern. You'll notice with Manly, they're very, very structured when they come up the field.
Here they go again. Rogers takes it into their half. A deep drive in that time by Petey. To par off her right.
Hang on,
just a
Dean.
sec. Oh, she's gone down a knee, it looked like.
Yeah, I think we've got a knee or even an ankle there, but it looked pretty nasty where she stepped back off the right foot. I thought she was actually going to beat her there and get through to the in-goal, but she just landed awkwardly. Let's hope she's okay.
Yeah, that'll be a blow too to Manly if she can't come back on. She's a dynamite little player. I was lucky enough to coach her back in 2009 when she played for the Australian under-20s, and she was dynamite there, and she's just got better over the years, representing her native New Zealand now. But she has that ability to really spark an attacking raid, and so that could be a big loss here if she's out for the game. The Roosters bring it back into play now as Moore sweeps around.
There's Steph Mahalo. She's back on the field, so she must have recovered from that semi-final miss.
Baker now drives it up to halfway. Studden with the ball. She finds Slattery. Slattery's got plenty to tow. She looks to drop it back inside to Quinlan. Its last touch. Quinlan goes off her left, goes off her right. But they're just sitting back and waiting. They didn't really set a great platform for her that time. There's Dieball. Out to the younger Clifford. Brittany Clifford. She gets it to Petey. Petey drives it to the sideline. There's Nicholas now. Rogers at half. Here comes Sarah Petey. They're looking to release Davis out of half. She comes back to the right. She gives it to Sarah Petey, who gives it off to Taylor.
That's a try.
To McDonald. Lucy McDonald's in underneath, and that is just off a really good drive and stretching the defence and using the ball across the park.
That's that settle pattern from Manly. They come to the box and then they get their fresh legs on. They sweep around the back so effectively. Maddie Studden just couldn't quite get down quick enough to stop McDonald scoring there in the link.
20 minutes to play now. So Manly first to score. 1-0 they lead. It's Quinlan with the ball.
Now it's Studden.
Delirium Moore at half.
Takes off. She picks up Moe.
Here comes Quinlan on the sweep, on the early sweep.
She's down
she
underneath
scored.
Quinlan, and that's how she is so dangerous.
And number 5, Laura Peaty, is a great defender, but Ash Quinlan does enough to get around and get the ball down.
Yeah, she is just so light on her feet. She could step off a sixpence, as my grandfather used to say. 1-1, 20 to play. Die ball and bring it back in for the Manly Sea Eagles. She gets it down in front of Maioli. Off to Davis. They're swinging the ball wide. Nicholas at link. Davis comes back to the right-hand side of the feed. Nicholas down again. Oh, they've got in each other's way there. Die ball and Davis. Die ball gives it off to Shelley Davis. She gets it down in front of Maioli. Back now to Hannah Die ball. She releases. She's looking to go out of half. A bit sloppy there with the Davis out on the left. She slides in slide. But there's a penalty there. Gare was offside, but the touch, Tony Breeze got across and made the touch.
Yeah, good cover there from Tony Breeze, but Beck Gare just not quite back on the line. So Manly will get another set. Shelley Davis will probably like to take control of the set. She's working there with Laura Peaty.
Slattery pushing up here defence. Davis makes the touch, but there's a penalty for not moving forward for the two outside people. It must have been at the links the way that referee Tess Lady was pointing. Davis is going to get underneath him. No, she said that she's got underneath him. Isabel Slattery believes she was onside, but just a little quickie. Shelley Davis normally runs those with her sister Danny, who's probably watching up there in the Gold Coast. Hello, Danny. But now the Sea Eagles lead 2 touchdowns to 1. Just a bit of confusion there. Understandable with the change of playing conditions over the course of the weekend due to the weather conditions and the hazardous particles in the air. But now the Roosters, Quinlan, Tulare Moore, she gets it off to Studden. Moore out of half again. Moe, there's a similar setup. Here's off the step, off the long ball.
Oh, there's a touch.
Moe's taken it. It's going to be 6 to go.
It took a deflection there from Clifford.
Exactly the same setup, but with a different option.
You'll see that a lot from Christian Frost as a coach. He likes to definitely run some sequences in his attack. Very smart coach.
Studden to Moore. The Eagles defence pushing up. Studden at the half. She's gone out of half. Thrown to dummy. Throws long.
Late pass.
Pumped the dummy and went through, but it's going to be a late pass penalty. First time we've had 3 female referees referee the Women's Championship at the State Cup. So congratulations, ladies. As Hannah Dieball now takes it forward. 10 short of her own halfway. Laura Peaty gets to halfway, but she's going to be pinned for off the mark. Tesla, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think the defender kicked off a little bit. It might have just made it look a little bit over the mark. But anyway, East got the ball in a good position here. They'll try and hit back.
There's a blood bin being called here too.
It's Studden, I think, that's been called off for a blood bin, which I would have thought East would have liked to have had her out on the field for this repeat set. There's Shanahan with the ball.
And now the Roosters, they're in the attacking zone. There goes the ball in the hands of Baker. She looks out wide. She finds Gare. Gare gets it to McPherson. McPherson gets it back to Gare, but it's a late pass there. Good decision there.
Manly's defence is holding up pretty well at this stage. Here they go back to their subset again. They'll get some changes on. Oh, they keep it alive there. They save a touch. Here comes Tapar. She's back on the field, Dean. That's excellent for Manly.
It is, and there, Petey, she releases Clifford.
Taylor
she's through. Brittany Clifford, sorry, that's Brittany, the 15. She's trying a long ball there. They hung off her. She found a little hole, but just couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, she just tried to load up for the long pass there, but at least were able to knock her off.
Now the Chooks coming out of their own half. Gare caught on the 5. They sweep around. That's Betty Yards that time. And that was Sarah Doyle there taking forward. Mistake there from
Manly are doing a really, really good job of pressuring East when they get the changeover. Forcing the error.
Pushing for the par now. Nicholas.
They look very much in control, the girls from the Northern Beaches.
Yeah,
That was
Nicholas
something.
with the ball.
Yep.
Rogers at half.
It was something that they weren't in control of their game against the Dogs at the Vorden Cup Grand Final, but very much in control of the way they're playing here. There's Packy. She gives it off to Shelley Davis. Back inside to Packy. Packy looking for Hannah Dieball. The pass just went astray. And it'll be a Roosters ball, looking to work it out of their line. Quinlan with the ball. Slattery at half. She picks up Breeze, coming back to the sub box.
Good drive there from Breeze.
There's Slattery, and it's good play there. Gare now. Good yards. They're into the Seagulls territory.
That's a better set.
Here goes Moy. She passes off to Baker. Baker releases out to Tuliri Moore. She'll be looking to go back inside. She does to Baker. She gets caught. Now with Moy on the last. Comes to the left. Goes back to the right. But the ball now on the ground. They've picked up a penalty. Referee Kathleen Spence has found the penalty there. The link not moving up. No advantage. Good decision. Moe now. She's got Studden back out there with her. She's also got McPherson. Studden will go to half. She comes back the other way to Quinlan, and Quinlan's going to score again. And a missed assignment there.
I think that's a complete miscount there from Manly. I think Ash Quinlan sort of snuck on at link there late as an interchange player. I'm not sure if Manly ever numbered up correctly because that seemed way too easy.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I just think that they missed the interchanges coming on because... yeah, it was too easy. It was.
People don't normally give Ash Quinlan that much space either.
No. And I think Maddie Studden was surprised she even had that much space when she saw her. So, anyway, Petey out of half. Gives it back to Maioli. Maioli gets it down in front of Clifford. Clifford goes back to the left-hand side, goes long. A great long ball. That's a beautiful long ball. And she finds Sammy Rogers out there, the scorer in the corner, but flat and long. A beautiful pass from Brittany Clifford. 3-2 now to the Seagulls, and they've struck immediately back. Tuliri Moore, she taps off, she gets it down in front of Studden. She gets the ball back. They push, look at the Seagulls push forward there. Moe gets it down in front of Quinlan. Quinlan goes back to the right, comes back to the left now. She's through again, Quinlan. She's having a great game and a great ball inside. She finds Jess Shanahan, who ran a spectacular line on the inside. But Quinlan showing all why she's regarded as the best female player in the game at this time.
Yeah, she just took off there on Tapa there. I don't know if that knee is affecting her at all, but Ash picked her out and took full advantage. We're back to level 3 all with 12 and a half minutes to go.
Packy goes around the sweep. They ignore her. It's in the hands of Maioli. Now with Dieball. She goes back to Maioli. Maioli's got room to move. They throw the ball. 6 more.
Well defended.
Yeah, but well set up by the Seagulls too. This is a different style of game the Seagulls are playing from what they played earlier this year in the Vorden Cup Grand Final. Far more attractive style. Dieball with the ball. Davis gets it down. Dieball gets it back to her. Davis goes for the dive over again, but Slattery gets across there this time, makes the touch.
That was the exact play that she ran on Slattery before, and she scored off it, but this time Slattery was able to recover and get back and make the touch.
Here they go again. Davis with the ball, just holding it up. But she's been pinged for not square. Alana Sinclair, the referee, making that decision, and the correct one too.
Oh, this is going to go the other way. Another hooking penalty. We saw this in the earlier game in the men's B. Baker just wrapped her arm around Clifford there, and the referees picked it up. It's a good call.
Pushing forward hard now, the Roosters. Davis with the ball. Gives it off to Clifford. She's been impressive so far with that long ball that she's been throwing. Hannah Dieball back in the inside for Davis, but very good touch there by Slattery and Breeze. Might be winded there. Shelley Davis. She'll look to... No, she's going to stay on. She's a trooper.
Pretty tough.
She's a trooper. Here they go, looking to release Clifford again. Oh, Davis is down, but she's got the long ball out to Billy Taylor.
Wow, it didn't matter.
Yep, so showing all the tricks of the trade here, Brittany Clifford. She decided she'd throw long to the left
And then she thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go to the right-hand side. She's picked up meat pies on both.
Yeah, it was man on there too. It was just the quality of the pass there from Clifford that created the overlap.
4-3 now. The Seagulls lead over the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. Studden and Tulare working together. Studden gives it off to Moy. Moy drives in. She looks to release Studden, but trying to bring the defence out. Not square, but they got away with that one. Studden gets it on to Quinlan. Quinlan looking to see if she can beat Nicholas, but Nicholas well defended. Quinlan now, she gets it back.
Pass.
Bad luck there, but again, Quinlan, every time she's in the red zone, is looking dangerous.
Yeah, she beat a player there, just couldn't execute the pass. Manly will come out again. You'll watch them. They'll go straight over to their sub box and get some fresh legs on.
Here they go, releasing the ball, looking to get to their sub box. Maoli gets down. There's Sarah Petey driving forward. Rogers at half. She picks up Taylor Clifford this time. Packy gets it into play. Rogers drives them forward. Here comes Tapar. Tapar gets it off to Laura Petey. She gets it back now. No, Tapar ignores her. She goes to half herself. Inside to Laura Petey. Back to Packy. Packy throws it on to Davis. Sorry, to Sammy Rogers, who throws the flick pass. Never seen Sammy throw a flick pass. She gave her plenty of time to get around it too. Like it didn't go a fair way in the air.
Wingers only get one flick pass in their lifetime, don't they?
That's right. Here goes Moy. Moy drives forward. Ellis at half. There's Tulare Moore. Ellis at half again. Now with Gare. Waiting for the troops to get on the field.
Here comes Quinlan.
Quinlan gives it off to Doyle. Doyle gets down for Quinlan. She takes off. Quinlan goes along ball. What a great pass. A great pass to Beck Gare. And guess who threw the pass? Ash Quinlan. And it's all tied up 4-4.
I'll just say there too, number 10, Lucy McDonald from Manly. Great honesty there.
Yep. Tremendous call saying, no, I didn't get her. State Cup final, some might have been tempted to try the sneaky, but great honesty from Lucy. Here they come again.
Dybel sweeping around the back.
She's got the ball now.
Here comes Clifford.
Oh, stepped away from her. Clifford, well, she's got him guessing both ways now, so it'll be interesting to see which way she chooses to go with the next opportunity. Nicholas gets it down in front of Davis. Davis throws it along to Dybel. Dybel throws it long to Rogers. She's diving for the corner. And smart play. See how she dives outside the corner just to ground it inside to give herself that just little bit of extra yardage to try and make the defender miss. But it was a forward pass. Slattery now releases to Baker. Baker driving forward. Here comes Slattery around on the sweep, looking to get to a box. Dummies down in front of Shanahan. Breeze now.
Oh, they've picked up a forward pass off the ruck.
Yeah, so I don't think that was forward, to be honest.
I agree, Dean. I thought that one was okay.
Well, boys, I have seen a lot worse let go. Clifford now. Rogers at half. They just bring it on. See, that would have been forward if this last one was. Taylor Clifford. She gives it off to Sarah Petey. She gets it down in front of Maoli. Maoli back with the ball now. She releases Petey out of half. She gets it back from her. She looks to go long to Billy Taylor, but the pass just go behind her. But yeah, just Shanahan did have that covered. Quinlan making a sub as she comes off. No one's gone on yet. Here goes Tulare Moore. There's 6:44 to go. We're tied up at 4-4. There goes Moy driving forward.
Good yards from the Roosters.
There's Gare. Gare will be driving forward again. Shanahan at half. She releases Doyle. Doyle's going to get it down in front of Baker. Baker takes off. She comes back to the left-hand side of the field. She's looking to release Beck Gare. Beck Gare looks to get it off to Moore, but there's nothing happening. Well read, Lucy McDonald. Came in and shut that play down very well. The Seagulls now working off their line. That's McDonald. Around goes Petey. She releases there to Rogers. She drops it back inside to Petey. Waiting for the troops to come on. There's Laura Petey this time. Rogers out of half. Picks up Packy. Packy releases to Tapar. Tapar gets it down in front of Clifford. She gives it back to Packy. Looking around to get around on the wrap. She gets ignored. Tapar comes out of half. She's going to go short to Clifford. Clifford goes again to Petey. The pass goes to ground. I think she's probably in two minds then. Do I go to Petey or do I go long to Rogers? And eventually the pass just goes to ground.
I think that knee might just be on Tapar's mind a little bit. She didn't skip out of half as quickly as what she normally might.
And pushing up here, trying to put the pressure on. Kind of employed a bit of a fullback here, the Sea Eagles in their defensive line, sending 2 shooters, sending another shooter, and then having the far winger sit underneath to come in. And there's a great little inside ball from
Quinlan.
Quinlan. She's out of half. This time she's got the power back on the left-hand side. She goes to the breeze. The ball just goes behind the back, but you're right. That knee is no good.
Yeah, she's just been down on the ground again. I think she's struggling here. I think Ash actually might not have needed to step back then. I think she might have actually just been able to run it to the corner.
Tapar going off. The referee's called time. Went down injured.
Hannah Dybel comes on. She's a very, very good defender, Hannah Dybel. That's a good change.
There's Quinlan. She gets it off to Moe. Moe, oh, she had a look to her right. There was an opportunity, I thought. The ball in Quinlan's hands. She's got Studden on the outside. There's Studden calling Packy forward. Quinlan ignores Studden this time. Goes across to Doyle. She gets it down in front of... Oh, the passes. Oh, if she had it for the pass. That was well set up. Everyone's eyes were on Quinlan, including mine. Yeah. Moe then takes off from half.
Link hole was definitely on there.
Yep, she could have hit, I think it was Doyle running into that hole. Anyway, the Sea Eagles driving forward. There's Rogers into the Chooks half. Davis now, good drive into the line. Sarah Petey with the ball. They're going to release Kennedy. I think that's the first time she's been on the field today.
Oh, it's a late pass.
A good call there.
Great touch. And it's Jess Shanahan again that came in and knocked that off. Davis couldn't get away just in time.
Yep, very good call from the referees there.
Kathleen Spence was right on the spot. It was a great call.
Studden driving forward. Here comes Moe around, looking to get to their box again. On come the fresh troops. Gare gets on there. She's going to have the ball now. She'll drive in. They'll be looking. Oh, got held up in the touch. It's got to be prepared better. There goes Tony Bruce. She's looking to release Quinlan. Quinlan's out of half on the last. What's she got? She goes short to... No. Ball down. Yeah, that's the correct decision for mine.
Thrown into it at the last minute. It's a good call from the referees.
The Sea Eagles now. They look a little bit jaded, but they can put on a try in the blink of an eye. Packing at half. She picks up Taylor Clifford, who then found Dybel. Taylor Clifford driving forward. Kennedy out of half. She's looking long. There it is. It's floated forward, and the referees will ping that back. She's only come into the game. I don't think she's been on before.
She's actually looked really dangerous the last 2 sets. I don't know where she's been earlier in the game, but yeah, she looks likely.
Yep, she looks like she's blowing hard over there too in the sub box. Possibly she was injured, and now with Tapar down, they've had to throw her in.
Good yards here from Maddie Studden.
We're in the danger zone now with 2 minutes to play. It's 4-all.
Could we be heading for a drop-off?
Well, it's been another cracker of a game. And too many players on. That was a poor substitution. And so, Christian Frost doesn't believe that there was too many players on the field.
So this is Manly's chance. They could ice the game here with 1.5 minutes to go.
Oh, not square. Not square.
Both teams just looking a little bit nervous.
Well, this will be interesting. Look at the pressure Manly are trying to push up. There's Quinlan. She'll dump it back inside to Moy. Moy will get it back to Quinlan. They bring different players out of the line. And there's another penalty. And you know what? I'm not sure I agree with that. But anyway, there's a changeover with the Sea Eagles with the ball. Clifford gets the pass down. It's 6 to go. More. Knocked down by Beck Gare.
This could be the last set of the game.
Well, they've got a minute to play. Possibly they both get a set here. Depending how long it is. Nicholas at half. She gives it off to Laura Petey. She looks to come back inside. Nicholas. Laura Petey out of half. They've got trouble here. Great hands. Tipped on by Shelley Davis.
And I'm happy with the call. Claire Stone came in and shut it down, but I'm happy with the tip on.
Yeah, I think it was all good there. The ref made the right decision. Let's see how much time he's got left. They've got 20 seconds.
And they've only got 5 on. Now they've got 6 on. Well, you know where they're putting all their eggs in this basket. It's going to be Quinlan. Oh, the ball's gone to ground. That's going to be all over. It's going to be a Seagulls game. There's only 2 seconds to go, and again, another tight one. And the Manly Seagulls, they get it again. And I'll tell you what, there's some emotion out there from the girls. They've had a tough year. They've had a tough probably 12 months. And to be able to get that victory in a really great game, you can see how much it means to them. Another great final, Jay.
Yeah, outstanding performance from Manly. They've really worked hard after that Vorden Cup defeat, and they deserve it. Just a side note, but for the East, that's 2 years in a row they've unfortunately gone down in the GF, so I'm sure they'll be hurting. But yeah, sensational game, and full credit to Manly.
Congratulations to the Manly Seagulls, the 2019 Women's Championship premiers. Congratulations. We'll be back shortly with the Men's Championship A, Bankstown versus Hornsby.
We're back here now for the men's Premier League final. The Championship A. And we're about to get into what I think will be quite an entertaining game. Hornsby versus Bankstown. And Hornsby, they will just throw the ball around.
Yeah, both play quite an exciting brand of footy, actually. So Hornsby obviously stacked to the brim with superstars of the game, Dylan Hennessy, the Kennedy twins, Kieran Toner. The list keeps going on. Play a very, very free-flowing style of touch football. And Bankstown Sports also, you'd like to throw the ball around a little bit, but they also have pretty decent structure through Daniel Stone and Roy Prasad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The world's best male player. The world's best player, Dylan Hennessy, is playing for Hornsby. But there are some young guns coming through. The reigning New South Wales Male Player of the Year, Daniel Stone, for Bankstown. I'm just really looking forward to it. I think it's just going to be entertainment plus, to be totally honest.
Yeah, and of course, Bankstown coming off that exceptional victory at Vorden Cup over the Doyleson Dragons. They'll definitely have a lot of confidence coming into the game.
They certainly will. And what's your prediction for a score with this one?
Oh, look, I think regardless of Bankstown coming off the Vorden Cup victory, I think Hornsby have played really well all weekend. And I know there's a couple of guys in this side. I think this might be their last run around in the men's open. So I'm actually going to go with Hornsby. I'm going to say it's going to be a tight one, 7-6.
Well, it's been an interesting competition through the rounds play. Teams were beating each other. Results weren't going as people expected, but are the two best teams playing in the final from this weekend? You'd have to say yes.
Yeah, definitely. And look, that's what State Cup's about as well. It's about a war of attrition. It's about injuries, fitness. It's about getting some luck here and there. Both teams definitely deserving of being here, so it should be a cracker.
We're just about to take on the national anthem. We'll be back shortly.
We've got Tony Trad here. Which way are you going to go, Traddy?
Oh, I have to go with Hornsby. Thanks, Dean. It's a tough question, but I think we're going to go with Hornsby. Just a star-studded lineup, but it's a really good good competition here. It's been a great State Cup, and this game is going to be very interesting because you've got one team in Bankstown, very analytical, strategical, and you've got the flair and individual skill of the Hornsby boys. So we'll see which one comes on top, but on paper, I'll say Hornsby.
Thanks, Tony. So that's 2 Hornsby, and I'm the only one that's on Bankstown. Mind you, for all the Bankstown supporters, I apologise. I have been the kiss of death this weekend. Kennedy will get us started. Off to Toner. In front of Kennedy again. There's 2 Kennedy twins. That's Maury with the number 2 on. John with the number.
County's play for Dill Hennessy. Early out ball to Toner.
Toner there caught. Well read defensively by the Bankstown boys. Hennessy at half. Off to Toner. Maury Kennedy with the ball. Dylan Hennessy, there's that flare we talked about. Jonathan Palau, he steps inside. Oh, very light on his feet, but that's what we were talking about earlier. That flick between the legs by John Kennedy. And now Bankstown driving it through the giant that is Rosario.
It's Kieran Hughes with a good drive.
Be interested to see how Kieran Hughes, really talented young player, how he goes up against this type of lineup.
Yeah, he was very, very impressive at the Vorden Cup final.
A good drive down the field. It probably didn't finish the set the way they would like to. Now Hornsby driving again forward. Kennedy on the round on the sweep. Gets it in front of Hennessy. Hennessy to Maury Kennedy. Palau at half. It's on the ball there to Love.
Here comes Bishop on the sweep.
The grand old man, Willie Bishop. He gets underneath and dives. They
He's
can
down.
avoid it. The grand old man, Willie B. Comes back off the left and just gets underneath and the touchdowns awarded. They lead 1-0.
That's a great touchdown to Hornsby there, Dean. Moving the ball out wide, out ball. Everybody watching Hennessy and Bishop done what he's been doing for over a decade. One of the best static divers in the game off the left foot. Nice and low at age about 38. And Hornsby showing us the flair early and showing the skill. And it all started with Bankstown not finishing the set they want. But here they come with their own style. Kieran Hughes fakes the speed. Got men open. Can he find someone? Yes, he does. Referee Badjo has said touched. Wow, you saw the electric speed of Kieran Hughes there, Dean.
Yeah, he is a talent, that kid. And here he goes again out of half. He got him first. He goes back inside, but well positioned that time by Lang. He got burnt the first time. He was making sure he didn't get burnt the second time, so he didn't have to face Terry Cooper when he came off. Now they drive forward into the Bankstown half. John Kennedy finds Hennessy. Hennessy cuts out. Goes.
That's Wong on the wing. Back into Roberts for Hennessy. Hennessy out of half. Passive line. Hits Roberts on the short, but well covered by Kieran Hughes. Again, he's had a great start to the game.
Again, it gets me to talk about that youth not being overawed by occasion. As they fling the ball wide now, the Bankstown boys. A sloppy roll ball, but penalty there from in the ruck. Heath Cooper penalised. Referee Tony Calibria finding that foot in the ruck. Bankstown with the ball as they drive forward there. It was Bazunas. Prasad on the field now.
That's Wetherill with the ball. Back to Prasad.
They just look a bit disjointed at the moment. Bazunas throws it back to Wetherill.
Prasad will take control here.
Bazunas looking, trying to get on the outside. Prasad. He's got Bacchus outside of him. Hasn't used him up yet. He's got him now. Back to Prasad. Prasad releases to Bazunas. Prasad gives it back to him. He's got the foot speed. He tries to get around underneath. There was no call there. Whether the referee's going to have a discussion. He's beaten him on the outside. It's whether he's grounded the ball. They're going to say yes. They're going to say it's a touchdown. Beat him for foot speed. Got on the outside and slid dive to get the ball down, and we're all tied up.
That's just a typical Bankstown play. Roy Prasad controlling the ball in the middle, trying to drag the links up of Hornsby. As soon as he got the link up, it was a quickie on the out to Bazunas, who's one of the best in the business. We've seen that 100 times in Vorden Cup, another 50 times here at State Cup. And the foot speed of Bazunas on the static, too quick and a great low dive. And we're all locked up at 1-1. You'll see that a few more times. As Hornsby run the rooster for Toner, the defence up to it on that occasion.
Hennessy with the ball now. Got Love on the outside, but he chooses to go back to Maury Kennedy. Toner on the outside. He throws a long ball out to Jonathan Palau, but just not able to take that pass.
Yeah, just a little bit too much downtime at half there from Toner to take off.
Wagstaff had him pretty well covered too. It was good defence from Wagstaff. They now look to get their ball out on the far side. That's Weatherall driving forward. A bit disjointed at the moment, the Bankstown boys. They come on now, Rosario. As he looked on, he should have looked on the outside. He had the young Kieran Hughes absolutely flying on his outside. And now there's a penalty for late pass. And there wasn't much of a gap there, but with the speed he's got, he could have got through. Palau now. Toner at half. Drive it through the Nichols. He gets the ball down.
Bailey Haywood and Hennessy working in the middle here. Off to Bishop.
Hennessy other half. He's looking to go short, but now he goes
Great
long
ball.
out there, and that's a great ball.
Heath Cooper in the corner.
It amazes me that he just flicks his wrists and he can throw it that far. Like it's, there's no wind up. It's just bang, out it goes.
Well, he's a traditional ball player. He just holds the ball out in front. If you look at that try, he just floated across the line. He never really dug at the line. He floated. So the Bankstown right edge held, but Weatherall, the wing, was turned inwards and moved late, but the ball just sailed out of the hands. His timing with the pass, as always, is exquisite. So good to watch here, Hennessy. Every time he comes on, he slows the game down, and he's Prasad. He'll do the same. Down for Stone here. He hasn't been a real factor in the game. There's a passive play. Well read there by Harry Berriman. So both Hennessy and Prasad will slow the game down to get the shapes that they want and the looks they want. Here's Prasad there. Down for Stone. That's a forward pass.
Well picked up from Tony Calabria.
Looking for that ML there for Stone. I'm not sure why they changed the platform. They were very successful with that link quickie, and now they've gone to a ball-playing platform.
Now Hornsby through Berryman. There's Lang driving it forward. They bring on the troops. Here they go, the Kennedy boys together. There's John with the ball. He picks up his brother Maury back on the outside. Love with the ball. He gets it down in front of Maury Kennedy. John Kennedy with the ball. Around comes Love on the sweep. He steps off his left. He goes through. Oh, very good footwork. He got touched, but they picked up the penalty for offside. Not a bad little dance move there.
Yeah, he's quite sharp there, Love. Looked very dangerous. Dylan will take control of this set again.
There's John Kennedy, gives it off to Dylan Hennessy. Wants to bring it back and let's reset, he says. Just dummies to Kennedy. Now he gives it to him. Kennedy just having a chat to Badger, saying, I want that player to come forward, sir. The Kennedy boys together. They give it to Hennessy. Gives it back. There's a quick ball to Love. Love off the left and off the right. And, Jesus. Oh, the ball. Oh, knocked down. There's 6 to go. There's knocked down. There's a penalty. It's all happening. And that's what we said prior to this game starting, that there would be a fair bit of flair shown by the Hornsby boys. They're not really bothered if you score 8 against them because they're going to back themselves to score 10.
Yeah, they're always happy to get the ball back at halfway, that's for sure. There goes Love again. He looks really dangerous at the moment, but so far Bankstown handling him okay.
Yeah, he's looking like he's warming up for the dance floor tonight with the way that footwork's moving. Kennedy out of half. Finds Hennessy. Gets it back from him on the wrap. They use that play a lot, the Kennedy boys, with Dylan Hennessy. Very effective. Hennessy now. He's got the ball back. Throws long to Maury.
Good hands.
Jonathan Palau. Very well read defensively. They shut it down, and that's 6 touches. Bankstown with the ball. Straight into it. Big yards here. Too much downtime, and there's a penalty. Berriman getting caught up in the ruck.
Yeah, didn't need to give that one away there, Palau. And he's been subbed for it as well.
Stone now hasn't really been effective yet. He will be, don't worry about that. There's Bazunas moving the ball forward. Prasad, he's now caught, he's got Bakos with the ball, tries to step inside. Rosario gives it to Prasad. He releases to Kieran Hughes, back to Prasad, on to Rosario. Now to Bakos, it's back inside. Hughes now takes off from half, goes off his right, gives it to Rosario. Rosario, he's back in the hands of Hughes. 6 to go. They've got a chance out wide. They've picked it up. They'll get it back inside. Oh, if he could have got the pass, but that's the first. And again, opportunity plays in the hands of the attacking team. Prasad says, I had enough of this. I'm just going to slow it down. Again, trying to bring Lang forward. He wants to get him in the position he wants. Rosario with the ball. They get back in there, and there's a penalty here. That's the first, the referee Baggio saying. But Prasad, he might try and see if he can pick him off here again for another penalty. Oh.
Good touch there from Toner.
Gets the ball. Rosario back. Toner's up. Prasad gets on his inside. And there's a penalty here that's going to be 2 in a row.
I'm not sure about that one there, Dean. I think Prasad's got away with one there.
Yeah, no, having used that move myself, he definitely tried to get the foot in the ruck to try and disrupt it. Prasad again. They haven't taken advantage of the extra player they had with the forced sub. Prasad's not overly worried about that. Referee calling them to move forward. Stone gets it on to Kieran Hughes. He gets it back to Stone. Stone releases to Prasad. Prasad calling Rosario and he wants him in. He gets the touch he wants. Rosario out of half. Nothing on that left-hand side of the field. Again, they give it back to Prasad. He gets it down. He gets it back. He wants to dive under. And there's a penalty here, and this is going to be... The referees are talking to each other. He's calling out Simon Lang. Period of time, and that could only be for repeated infringements on the line. Interesting call. Now, the advantage is definitely with Bankstown. A 6-on-5 advantage. Prasad slowing it down. He's got Rosario on his outside. Back inside to Prasad. Rosario and Prasad, it's between the two of them at the moment.
Very patient here, Bankstown. They're making sure they're making the most of this opportunity.
I'd prefer to see him try and move the defence around. Here goes Stone.
Great touch.
Nichols got him there. Stone acknowledges it. But again, you'd like to see him move him around. But again, they know their game plan. They're going to stick with it. Prasad into it. Here goes Stone this time to Prasad. Prasad releases. I don't know what I'm talking about because they scored the touchdown.
Hang on, we've got a forward pass.
Forward pass. So 2-1 Hornsby lead. There's 12 to play. They've got one in the bin. Simon Lang's currently in the bin, so it's 6-on-5 advantage to Bankstown. We might bring Tony Tradd in. What do you think Bankstown have got to do here, Tony?
Well, they can't use up 4 or 5 touches to get one shot off him. It was a right play at the end, but it took too long to get it going. And Kieran Hughes is arguably the quickest man on the field, is standing at right link doing nothing. As Toner takes him on here, he'll get a penalty out of this. No. Well, I don't understand why they just didn't hit that middle ripping out ball to Kieran Toner, let him go one-on-one with Harry Berryman, and that's all she wrote. So they can't just stick to their patterns and their platforms when they've got a number advantage, 6v5. And I think Hornsby are going to get out of this without even conceding a touchdown.
Yeah, and they do. Mistake.
There you go.
Yeah, the Bankstown team can't be happy with that. I agree with Tony Tradd about the way they played the opportunity they had on the line, 6-on-5, and using up so many touches to get one shot off. And now with a drop ball on the halfway, they've not only put Hornsby in attack in the red zone, but they're going to get their player back most likely at the end of this 6 with no damage on the scoreboard. Hennessy now. That evasion, he gets around, he gets it back, and look.
Oh, great save there, but great
Six
work
more.
from Dill Hennessy there.
6 more, and they nearly scored on him. 5 on 6.
Benny's defender and got in behind and created the space. There's Hayward with the ball.
Floating over to the right, gives it back to Hennessy. Hennessy just takes the touch. Hayward at half. Gives it to the master, Hennessy. Now he says, you can have it back, young fella. Gets it down to Willie B. Willie Bishop gets around. Hennessy not liking the look. Trying to bring him forward. He dancing around. He's got Willie Bishop. He'll get it down for him. Hennessy just picks up that familiar one-handed scoop pickup. Goes short.
Good defence from Tristan Evans-Toy.
Hennessy telling them where he wants everybody. He gets it off. Here he comes out of and there's an incorrect roll ball.
I think that's the right decision there from the referee.
Yep, and they get out of it, Hornsby. No damage on the scoreboard. Lang's back on the field. Bankstown now driving the ball forward. They haven't looked as anywhere near as impressive as they were in the Vorden Cup Grand Final. Hornsby always looking dangerous, even in defence. Hayward makes a good touch there. Stone out of half. He hasn't been overly effective so far, and the ball goes to ground. And again, that time was Backos with the ball. Young Josh Backos with the ball going to ground.
I just can't understand Bankstown's tactics here. They got their first try on a quickie on the link with Zach Bazunas, who's a master at it. Kieran Hughes has looked electric early on with the touches, and we haven't seen them since. Since those early minutes, they've gone to Stone, who hasn't been as effective. I just can't understand why they went away from those platforms and those two players. It's not even looked like being successful. Hennessy, here we go, danger, floats across. Ball goes to ground, but no real hole there. So I've just can't understand that. I just think Bankstown have to get back to those platforms.
Yeah, I 100% agree again. They've just, if something's successful, I don't understand why you don't keep going to it until it's not working anymore. Here go the Bankstown boys. They're shifting. Prasad gets it down. Out goes Weatherall. Weatherall goes off his right. And
he's going to get a play through. They're in.
Fergus has scored. He's got the play through call.
Backos there in for Bankstown.
Yep.
As Hornsby got tied up a little bit in the ruck there, and they took full advantage of it.
Yeah, Matthew Weatherall just took through the middle of the ruck. Obviously heard the offside call from the referee. And he picked up young Josh Backos for an easy touchdown, 2-2. So they struggled to score when they had a one-man advantage, but they got back to even numbers and they score. They get one on the board through just simple play, not trying to overcomplicate it. You can play to their strengths.
Here comes Toner into half, releases over to Nichols.
As Kieran Hughes wraps him up pretty easily. I'll get the find Hennessy. He has the ball now. Nichols will go underneath him. There it is, back to Hennessy. He'll just take whoever he wants.
Well read.
Yep, very good defence that time. And that was from young Matthew Wagstaff. Again, that's a couple of good, decent reads he's had. Hughes with the ball. He gets it down. They shift it across there to Weatherall. Hughes with the ball. He's looking to pick them up. Oh, wasted the touch there on the line.
Yeah, interchange just sweeping on a little bit too deep there.
George Azzi had this is a better setup from. Oh, look, there's going to be a penalty there. Nichols took Bazunas out of play there, but no, nothing came of it. Again, if we go back to the Vorden Cup Grand Final, they used George Azzi really effectively to drive the ball and set platforms to release them, and they've hardly done that this game so far. In fact, I don't know if he's injured, but he doesn't seem to be on the field that often. Kennedy, that's John Kennedy. He finds Lang now. He's going to get Hayward out of half. Lang runs away from him. I don't know why he did that. Drops the ball back now to Hayward. He gives it to Lang. Lang finds Maury Kennedy. Back to Hayward. Maury underneath. He finds his brother John. They're trying to get on the out ball. What a ball on the outside. Nice. What about a ball on the outside? He went through.
Oh, they're going to pull it up.
No, drop the ball. But the play, what about the play? It was sensational. He just dropped the ball over the line.
That's the razzle-dazzle we talk about. Great work between the
Oh,
brothers.
that's
and
a
Kenny
forward
Boyd's
pass.
Another error. They've just been off in their rucking, haven't they? They've been off coming off their line. They've been off in their platforms, as you said about Azzy. He hasn't been on the field, but that's because they've been setting for ball-playing platforms with Rosario and Prasad setting there for Stone. And this is danger period with just over 5 minutes to go in the game. Hornsby, full set of 6. Hennessy on the field. Can they hang on defensively? Switch back numbers, face play. This could be an advantage play for a penalty. Let's have a look. No, the referee's happy for it to go. And Hornsby will reset. Hennessy from half, skips straight through.
Try.
Leaves Rosario in his wake and goes straight through.
And it's Johnny Kennedy that gets the finish.
But why would Rosario open that hole and not chase? If you're going to go man on with Hennessy on the right, it should stop his ball playing. You have to chase from inside out. You can't give the great man any space like that, and he made them pay. And that comes down to the error coming off their line.
And also Kennedy's ability there to lose his marker. He took off, stopped, propped, and just took a little step back to the right and was in free space. And again, Bankstown, they're playing. Kieran Hughes is there. He's got 1,000 miles an hour speed, and they're just not using him up at the moment. I don't understand it. Really don't understand it.
Do you think that is pressure from the big occasion, Tony?
No, I don't. I just don't understand. They are trying to ball play against a team that has the best ball player in the game. How can you out ball play a team that has the best ball player in the game? That's just ridiculous. But Bazunas is one of the best static players in the game. We saw what Kieran Hughes did from half, and we just saw what Weatherall did from half. When you drive direct against Hornsby with a live player, you're dangerous. You're dangerous because they man on. And as Dean said, they're happy to score more tries than you to win. They're not knuckling down in defence. But these guys are ball playing. I just don't get it. We haven't even seen Bazunas or Hughes in an attacking formation for so long. And here we go, these two, Rosario, Prasad, and just nothing.
Easily picked off there by Roberts.
I don't understand the strategy here. I don't.
Kennedy takes it forward. Another hit up followed by Roberts as they look to get Hennessy back on the field. Here comes Hayward. They keep it alive, Hornsby. They're so good at keeping that play alive and not wasting the touch. Out to Toner for Love. Love takes off from half. Oh, flick pass, but that went astray, that one.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right play, the flick pass. But yeah, it's interesting that they seem to have gone away from what was very successful for them at Forden Cup, and whether they thought, well, we need to change going to State Cup so people don't regret. Here's an opportunity out wide. They get it down quickly. Weatherall at half. There's George Azzi this time. Weatherall at half again. They shifted to Bazunas. Bazunas gets it off to Prasad. He's got Hughes on the outside of him. Hughes drops it back inside. He takes off over half this time, Hughes. And knocked down, but he had opportunities on the outside, and that's the first time in about 10 minutes we've seen him have an opportunity, and he could have put them back in the game here. It's 2 minutes 19 to play. They're down by one, Bankstown. Hughes with the ball. Shifts it out to the wing this time. That's in the hands there of Matthew Wagstaff. He get it back to Hughes, and Bazunas is in there. Here he goes around on the sweep.
That wasn't straight. They got away with one there.
Yeah, but even if Roy Prasad picks it up, I don't think they played the right way there. I think that Bazunas had already gone. They were just too slow. Here they go again. They try the same play. They give it back to... They're really not reading what's happening out there defensively from Hornsby. And look, it's just slow there. Oops, and here goes Kieran Hughes. Could he create something out of nothing? A penalty anyway. It was a penalty for... I think it must have been a late pass.
Yeah, late pass there, Dean. We've only got now 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Bankstown will want to try and get Hornsby to hurry up here so they get another opportunity.
Palau brings it forward. Lang with a good drive. They're up to their 10 in 2. Here goes Toner. Look at them come now. Hornsby, they can taste this victory. They're in running, and there's Hayward. Hayward gets it down. Kennedy at half. Hayward now drives. He's got Hennessy on the outside. Hennessy goes from half. He gives it back to Hayward. Hayward's got the numbers. He goes long.
They're in, and that's it.
What a great ball He is a talent, this kid, Hayward. He's had a quiet game, but he's just followed the master around. And Hennessy just let him go that time. Everyone's watching for Hennessy. He just gives it off to Hayward. A beautiful floating pass out to the wing. 4-2 with 37 to go, and you'd suggest that's game. Rosario and Prasad on the field again.
Yeah, Bankstown look like they've just accepted the fact that it's too far beyond them now.
Oh, Evans Toy, he was another one who had a whale of a game in the Vorden Cup. Plenty of speed to burn, but they just haven't used
They
him.
set up the passive line here.
Oh, and Toner goes for the intercept. I'll tell you what, the crowd think it's over. They're heading for the gates already. They want to get to the Port Panthers for the after party. And there
that's
it is. The Hornsby boys, the team that Tony Trad tipped last Tuesday, have got the cash. Tony Trad's already off to Sportsbet to try and cash in with Joel Kane, and they were just too smart.
Thank you. Ching Ching got the double. Manly Women's, Hornsby. If you watch the podcast and you've followed me, you'd be laughing. You owe me your beer. But hard, I mean, this Hornsby team at Star-Stud, it's got 7 internationals who currently, playing for Australia, played for Australia in 2019. Very hard to stop, but gallant in defeat were Bankstown, looking for their first ever double. Had their opportunities, I must say, but were by no means disgraced in their first ever State Cup final appearance. But Hornsby get the bickies, and that's the State Cup for 2019.
Yeah, thank you to Jay Miller and Tony Trabb for joining us here. Congratulations to Hornsby. Congratulations to all the winners here. It's been a fantastic carnival. We've had to make some changes as we've gone along due to the air quality conditions, but we were able to get back to our traditional touch turnaround. And from all of us here at New South Wales Touch, drive safely home. It's been a fantastic weekend, and we look forward to seeing you all back here next year, and have a great Christmas.
thank you very much for sticking around. Without any further ado, we will get the presentations underway. And I'd just like to acknowledge to my left our presenters. Joining me out here today, Mr. Jamie O'Connor, the CEO of Touch Football Australia, Mr. Chris Dolahanty, the Vice President of the New South Wales Touch Association, and representing the Port Macquarie Hastings Council, Councillor Robert Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our presenters this afternoon. So from matches played earlier this afternoon, we have some presentations to make. The Women's Open's B Plate, with a final scoreline of 5-3. The Foster Tuncurry team defeated the Taree Flames. We have a member of the Taree Flames come forward and accept their medals, please. So the ladies from Foster have already picked up their winners' medals, and also the player of the final was awarded. We'd like to acknowledge the efforts of Kylie Hilda from Foster to judge the player of the final for the Women's B Plate. And now the Men's Open's B Bowl final, with a final scoreline of 6 tries to 1. Hornsby Lions defeated the Ryde Eastwood Hawks. Could we have the Ryde Eastwood Hawks come forward and accept their medals, please? They've started the long journey home. We'll make sure that they receive their awards. But I can see several of the Hornsby Lions guys around. Please come forward and accept your championship medallions for the 2019 State Cup. And as the guys collect their medals, the player of the final for the Men's Open's Bowl from Hornsby, number 20, Jamo Hawkins. Would the captain like to say a few words on behalf of his team?
Just want to say thanks to Hornsby Touch and everyone on the team. Had a good year, and New South Wales Touch for putting this on. Thank you.
There we go. Congratulations to Hornsby. The next division, the women's 40s. The presentation has already, the medallions have already been picked up by the runners-up, but with a scoreline of 3 tries to 1, the Manly Seagulls defeated Nelson Bay. Would the Manly Seagulls like to come forward and accept their championship medallions? Just invite the captain to come forward and say a few words on behalf of the team.
everyone that we played and we didn't play. Thank you to Alpha Bay for an awesome game, and the refs, and myself, and these lovely ladies here. I am, I'm getting it. And for these lovely ladies for making it possible to be champions. Yeah!
And one final award for the division, the player of the final from Manly. Today she wore the number 3 jersey, Karen Ingram. While the ladies get their photos, we'll get on to the next presentation. The Mixed Opens Championship. What a fantastic game to start off the Open Premierships. The eventual winners with a narrow margin of 5 touchdowns to 4. The Eastern Suburbs defeating an extremely gallant Port Macquarie Makos. Can we have the Port Macquarie team come forward and accept their medallions, please? So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time for the Port Macquarie Makos mixed team. As I said, it was an outstanding effort, led earlier and got run down by an absolute champion team. Now let's call forward the 2019 Mixed Open champions, the Eastern Suburbs Roosters.
We'd just like to thank New South Wales Touch for putting on an awesome tournament again. Thank you to all the refs over the weekend. It was really, really great. Considering the conditions, you did a great job. Support, you guys are amazing. It was so great to finally play you in this final. It was an epic game that you made us run right to the wire. You guys should hold your head high because you have just achieved so much in the last few years. We're here with an honour to play you. To my team, thank you so much. We're all old, but we still give it. We have to work really hard to get through these weekends, to be truthfully honest. But yeah, it's an honour to play with them, and thank you.
Well done. And the players of the final for the mix. The players of the final, number 23 from the Eastern Suburbs Roosters, Scott Prince, and number 8 from the Port Makos, Tani Luck. So ladies and gentlemen, once again the champions for 2019, the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. And now the Women's Open Premiers. The final scoreline of 5 tries to 4. The Manly Seagulls defeated the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. We have the girls from Eastern Suburbs come forward. Accept their winners, their runners-up medallions, please. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Eastern Suburbs Women's Opens. Now keep the applause going for the premiers for 2019, the Manly Sea Eagles.
Firstly, thank you to New South Wales Touch, Dean and the team, a wonderful tournament as always. Thank you to our 3 referees. We had it at Borden Cup as well, but really special to have 3 female referees and did an awesome job, so thanks to the girls. To Frosty and Claire and the East girls, it's always an unbelievable game against you. I don't think you could have asked for a tighter final. You girls are incredible and you should be really proud of yourselves, and we're thinking of you guys and Em. Hope she is okay. Baz, Brownie, Jen, you guys are the absolute best. We'll have lots of time to chat tonight, but congratulations, thank you for everything. And to our girls, we got one. Well done. Thanks.
Before we get the champions photo, the player of the final from Manly, number 5, Laura Peaty. Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 champions, Manly Warringah. And now the Men's Opens Premiership grade. A fantastic final to conclude the tournament with a 4-2 scoreline. The Hornsby Lions victorious over an extremely gallant Bankstown Sports. Can we get forward the Bankstown Sports team to accept their runners-up medallions, gentlemen? Come on, a little bit warmer than that. These guys left nothing out on the field. Young up-and-coming club. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 State Cup champions for the men's Opens division. Put your hands together for the Hornsby Lions.
Firstly, I just want to thank New South Wales Nuts, the amount of effort you guys go to organise these things. It must be a bit of a headache. Plus the smoke, plus what everything's happening. Mate, you guys do a mad job. Also the reps, I'm probably #1 best, but you guys always turn up, do the right thing, and I know it's hard to look after some of the teams here, but keep coming. And without you guys, there's no touch. But yeah, so thank you. Backs down, you boys, come to the future. Back it up, make it one. You guys should be proud of it. You guys killed it. Keep going and keep believing. That's it. Next week. The white lads, mate, I don't know, seriously, sometimes you just rock up and think, are we playing or what's going on? But the lads turn up, we talk about gratitude. We don't really talk about tactics much, but we talk about believing in ourselves and enjoying moments. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Enjoying that moment, being happy, being positive, and sending that to God. So thanks again. Keep believing, everyone. Congratulations, all the other legends out here. And yeah, have a good night. Cheers. Thanks.
The real class of John Kennedy there, the captain of the Hornsby Lions. And the player of the final from that team, #6, Dylan Hennessy. And now we have a appreciation award ceremony we'd like to offer our hosts here in the beautiful city of Port Macquarie. Could we have to come forward a representative of the Port Macquarie Touch Association to receive the commemorative plaque from the New South Wales Touch Association for hosting this event. We'd also like to acknowledge the outstanding efforts of the Port Macquarie and Hastings Council for the outstanding venue that they have here. And I'd like to offer my congratulations to Kerry, who does an amazing amount of work here at the venue. To our host, the Port Macquarie Hastings Council, we thank you very much. We'll make the presentation. Mr. Rob Turner, Councillor, representing the Council here. We'd also like to acknowledge the support of the Port Panthers Club. We're not sure if anybody's here from Port Panthers, but we will make sure that they will receive it and acknowledgement for their outstanding support of this event over a long, long period of time. So now we're down to the final presentations of the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Rod Andrews Cup for the country affiliate. For 2019, the country affiliate of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Wollongong. Doesn't look like we have a representative from Wollongong here to accept the award. We will again make sure that they receive it. And now the club champion, the State Cup for 2019. In third place on 107 points, Western Suburbs Magpies. In second place on 127 points, the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. And in first place on 151 points, the Manly Warringah Sea. We have a representative of the Manly Club to come forward and accept the State Cup Champions Trophy for 2019.
Firstly, I'd like to thank New South Wales Touch, another great tournament. To all the referees out there, it's been a tough gig for you guys as well, so big hands to you guys, all that you did. To all the participants, all the affiliates, thank you very much for another great tournament here in Port. To Port Macquarie, you guys behind the scenes, what you do to get this venue ready for us. And most of all, to Manly Club, to my family, you guys rock. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please thank our three presenters who helped us out here this afternoon. And that concludes the presentation ceremony. We thank you very much for your attendance. We look forward to hosting you again next year for the 2020 version of the State Cup. We wish you safe travels. If you are sticking around, enjoy beautiful Port Macquarie. Thank you and good night. Just get all the Manly teams to come in for a photo.